Let's talk about the greatest spiritual vanishing act in history. Jesus disappears from the Bible at age 12 and doesn't show up again until he's 30. That's 18 years. 18. No mention, no miracles, no parables, just silence. And yet, when he returns, he speaks with divine authority, performs healings, teaches radical wisdom, challenges religion, and talks about the kingdom within. That doesn't happen overnight. So the question is, where was he and what was he learning? Because I'll tell you one thing, he didn't just stay in Nazareth building furniture. Luke 2 ends with this, "And Jesus increased in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man." Cool, but that's it? You're telling me the most important figure in Christianity just skipped 18 years and came back enlightened? Something doesn't add up, and early truth seekers knew it, because there are clues outside the Bible that Jesus may have traveled, studied, sought out spiritual masters, and prepared for something much bigger than we've been told. Theory 1, Egypt, the land of ancient mystics. Egypt wasn't just pyramids and pharaohs, it was the birthplace of Hermetic teachings, sacred geometry, and spiritual alchemy. Where was Jesus right after birth? Egypt. The Bible even tells us he was taken there as a child to escape Herod. But what if the story doesn't end there? Some researchers believe Jesus may have returned to Egypt as a young man to study ancient wisdom, to learn from mystics, priests, and initiates of the mystery schools. And if that's true, it would explain why he later spoke in symbols, why he taught in metaphors, why he seemed to understand spiritual laws long buried by religion. Theory 2, India, the land of enlightenment. Now here's where things get wild. There are ancient records found in Tibetan monasteries and Indian scrolls that speak of a wandering holy man from the West, a teacher, a light-skinned sage named Isa or Isha, who preached love, healed the sick, and challenged the priestly caste. Some say this Isa was Jesus. According to these texts, he studied in Buddhist monasteries, learned meditation, and was trained in the Vedas. He absorbed teachings about karma, reincarnation, and oneness with God. And if that sounds foreign, remember, Jesus spoke about light, stillness, detachment, inner purity, and loving your enemies. That's not traditional Judaism, that's universal spiritual wisdom. Theory 3, the Essenes, the desert mystics. Closer to home, there's another possibility. The Essenes, a secretive, mystical Jewish sect, lived near the Dead Sea. They practiced asceticism, ritual fasting, and sacred writing. They believed in divine inner light and direct communion with God, no middlemen needed. Sound familiar? Many believe Jesus was trained by the Essenes, or even was one of them. The Dead Sea Scrolls reveal teachings almost identical to what Jesus would later preach. And here's the kicker. John the Baptist, Jesus' cousin, was likely Essene trained. So were many of his disciples. Jesus' style, language, and way of life match theirs almost perfectly. So what does it mean if Jesus wasn't just a carpenter, but a seeker? A spiritual student who studied the mystical paths of the world? And then came back to distill the truth into one simple message. The kingdom of God is within you. That message didn't come from a book. It came from awakening. And the reason this part of his life was erased, because if Jesus found truth beyond religion, then so can you. See, if people knew that Jesus learned from Egypt, India, and the Essenes, it would shatter the narrative that one religion has all the truth. It would make people curious. It would make people question. And questioning is dangerous. To power, to hierarchy, to systems built on fear, so they kept it clean. Wrapped it in doctrine, and skipped the part where Jesus went on a soul-searching journey across the world. But if you're watching this, you're not afraid to ask, what did Jesus really learn during those missing years? And what am I still missing today? Jesus didn't just show up enlightened. He walked the path. He studied. He struggled. He sought truth and then lived it. And now, so can you. Next episode, we're slowing things down and digging into one of Jesus's most overlooked spiritual practices, stillness, silence, and the power of being fully present. Be well and soulful, my friends.